find you place. POV, it's a very dark and sketchy room. POV, it's a room. Why'd you bleep out the word? Dude, I'm not even saying anything bad. I just said room. Dude, stop it. You're making me seem like a demon. I can explain. During our toy giveaway. Okay, the bleep was needed that time. Welcome back to the less light side of the internet. There is one thing that has been consistent throughout human history. It's not our ability to create fire. It's not our ability to tell stories. It's not even our ability to run massive distances for hours at a time. This is a load of crap. No, the one thing that has been consistent throughout all of human history is that we are freaks. We're weirdos. We're dirty, stinky, freaky sacks of blood and meat, with an emphasis on the meat. When we were still in caves, we were making freaky paintings and freaky statues.
We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
Back in the Victorian era, we were freaking on each other through Morse code.
Oh, you like that? Okay, you are such a...
Look, I'm not an anthropologist or a linguist or really any other type of ist, but take my word when I say it, we are one of the freakiest species to ever grace this planet Earth. And I say we as a collective we, like we are all freaks. You're a freak, I'm a freak, the people we're talking about today are definitely freaks, and I think it's awesome. And I also think it's really freaking funny.
So nothing bad happened? You didn't wreck it? You didn't hit anybody? You didn't run anybody over? You didn't get a speeding ticket? Wait, Jeffy? Why are you making that face? Jeffy, did you get a speeding ticket? Jeffy?
I am so glad I was able to move away from home and as far away from my parents as possible before making this video, because if they heard me researching for this topic, it would have been a very awkward dinner table conversation.
Oh, pathetic. Rachel, pathetic.
Ray, what are you doing in there?
Drugs. Also, here's a little fun fact. My parents watch every single video that I make. Every single one. So please, if you're my parents, click off now. A couple of things confuse me about this TikTok. First off, I know what play here means. Why does this bring me back to the time when I had to play my video games only when my parents weren't home because they banned me from playing video games because I got a B in English? Is this what they mean when they say your kinks stem from childhood experiences? Second off, while the text does say bratty sub, why is this not giving bratty sub? This is giving more modest and demure sub. Could you imagine if Brat Summer was this respectful pink rather than this kinky green? Oh, 999, it's a good time. Who the f are you? I'm a brat when I'm above that. See, it just doesn't hit the same. I just feel like a bratty sub should be less tee-hee, I did finish, and more, yeah, I finished. What you gonna do about it? I'm seriously reconsidering my choice of career. Hey man, you look a little sad. What's getting you down? Yeah, it's really early to be doing all this smutty roleplay to myself. I'm sorry to hear that. It sounds like you could use a little pick-me-up. Have you heard of Blessa? I'm sorry, what? Bless up these nuts! That doesn't even make sense. This video is sponsored by Blessa. I partnered with Blessa to do a big vibrator giveaway. So sit down and strap up. Blessa Boutique is a bi-woman company that strives to promote sexual wellness and get everyone in their freak zone. It's like a reward for your. Now you may be wondering, why is this man, this gremlin, this goblin partnering with a bi-women, for-women toy company? Well, that has two very simple answers. First off, they also sell toys for men, so it doesn't matter what you identify as. You can be sure to get your freak on no matter who you choose to be. Second of all, I am terrible with women. But thankfully for you, Blessa is not. All of Blessa's toys are made from a high-grade, food-safe silicone, which means it could also be a tasty snack for you and your dog. That was a joke. Please don't eat your toys. Don't do that. But don't worry, if your dog didn't get that memo, Blessa will make sure to send you a free replacement as long as you send a picture of the culprit. So don't worry if Matcha decided that you have given this toy enough attention, because trust me, you will. This is Blessa's Air Vibe, and how it works is, actually, how does this work? Need I say more? Let me see what Blessa told me to say. The Air Vibe has suction and vibration, is waterproof, easily rechargeable, and comes in its own discreet case. And if this one is a little ostentatious for you, then me, Blessa's Whisper Bullet. Blessa's Whisper Bullet, the world's first ever silent vibrator. See? I promise that I will stay silent, but I can't promise that you will. Got him! And if this one doesn't suit your style, don't worry, because Blessa has plenty more for you to choose from. My friends at Blessa are giving away thousands of free toys and gift cards for toys. All you need to do to get one is sign up in the link below, and you can start blessing up your nuts. Thank you to Blessa for sponsoring today, and let's get back to the show. When he's with me, his height, customizable. That's not how you spell customizable. Look, I get that this video is about Kinktok POVs, but I really didn't mean that in the most literal sense. I come to TikTok to really get my fix of cats and Warhammer 40k lore.
Honorable battle brother, may I have some bolts? No.
And I would prefer this type of content to be quarantined to less demure websites. So during my research, I learned a lot about kinks, like how kinks are actually very different from fetishes. A kink is something that enhances someone's experience, kind of like introducing Legos into the bedroom for funsies. A fetish is when you really need something to experience, kind of like when you need Legos in the bedroom for finishies. However, and let me just be clear about this, it is not a fetish when you need your partner to be a certain type of person, like when you need the person to be a Lego, because that's just called
a metaphor for racism.
Anyways, speaking of Legos, the more I watch these TikToks, the more I think that kinks are just like little toys and games for couples. Your boyfriend is height customizable? So he's a Lego minifigure? I bet my pegs can fit right inside of you. I have more proof of this too.
So my dominant girl just laid out something for me to wear. Let's check it out, guys. Yeah, there's no way. There's no way. No, ain't doing it. No.
So having a sub-dom kink is just playing dress to impress.
Aren't you just lucky? Such a beautiful goddess to take all your money. My friends think it's hilarious. How pathetic is he, Sarah?
And I guess having a pay pig kink is just like being a League of Legends player. I'm not sure if YouTube is gonna demonetize me or not for saying the word kink so many times in a video, but just so I was safe, I kind of took the liberty of replacing all the words kink with the quack sound effect. But when it comes to kinks, there are so many to choose from. Praise kinks, CNC kinks, fin-dom kinks. I'm really sorry to that one guy with a duck kink. And all kinks are, great? Is that the right word for it? Yeah, let's just go with great. And they should all be celebrated. But for some reason, a lot of people on Kinktok seem to have this desire to flex on other people about how much worse their kinks are. Normal girls be like, I like being shit.
Me's that very freaky gal.
Me with my forced What's the implication here? I mean, how does that not make you normal? Are you saying that normal people don't like to get? I just feel like we have so many pick-me people out there already that we don't need pick-me Kinktokers too. Your kink is doing something other than missionary. My kink is you subscribing to me. We are not the same. But there does seem to be this trend of vanilla shaming in some circles of Kinktok, which I thought was really confusing because I thought the entire point of the Kinktok community was to open up the discussion and introduce kinks to people that maybe haven't explored that side of themselves yet. And it's so weird because social stigma is already so much of a gatekeeper for a lot of people wanting to enter this community. I just feel like we don't really need an extra layer of security on it, if you know what I mean. My quacks, but they just get worse. Breath play, degradation/humiliation. Freedom! Again, why is this a competition? And not to invalidate these creators' opinions, but are these even bad to begin with? Breath play. The other girl said it was too PC. Degradation? I do that to myself all the time on this channel. For free.
Who's that Pokemon?
It's Pikachu!
It's Clefairy!
And this TikTok really highlights why I think some of these comparison videos are just a tiny bit problematic, just have a teensy weensy bit of issues. There are certain circles in the kink and psychology communities that believe that kinks arise from childhood traumas. And while scientifically that may be partially true, that means via the transitive property, you are essentially shaming people for having less childhood trauma than you, and in doing so, glorifying something that should have never happened to someone in the first place. I think the kink community can be a great pathway to healing and reclaiming experiences suffered in the past. So seeing this weaponized by an admittedly small portion of the kink community just seems very unkinky to me. People like that, probably figuratively, only do missionary. Could you imagine if this was the approach that was used in Defense Against the Dark Arts? You've only used Sectum Sempra? You're such a mudblood. I've used Crucio. Tons. Oh! The wand was pointed at my junk. The wand was pointed at my junk. So you might have noticed that a lot of these creators that I'm talking about today are women. And during my research, I realized that Kinktok is a heavily female-dominated niche. And it doesn't really make sense to me because I'm almost certain that the demographic of the kink community is not 100% queer women. And if there are straight women creating these, who's their counterpart? Where the heck is the male representation? You lock them in the dungeon. They don't get much phone time. I'm sorry, the dungeon? Yeah. You want to see? Yeah, kind of. Huh. Okay. Where do I sign up? So in the interest of equality, let's look at some Kinktok videos by some male creators. And maybe we can develop some theories as to why we just don't see as much men representation in this niche. So theory number 1, all of the men are sub, they have spent all their money trying to get dom girlfriends and can no longer afford to buy phones to make TikToks with. Pretty reasonable to me. Valid.
Don't do that. Don't do that. What? I know what you're doing. Don't do that. I know what you're doing. I'm not doing anything. Listen to me.
Theory number 2. Men just suck at POV TikToks, because this is definitely the wrong way around. Can we please normalize using the correct form of POV? It's just so ironic. Daddy knows what that mouth. Oh god. No, I don't want to read that. No. Theory number 3. I actually did watch a bunch of Kinktok videos by men and have somehow forcibly purged my mind of any recollection of them. Because oh my god, I am so sorry that you had to see this. Unless that's what you're into. I don't know, this is a judgment-free zone. The Kinktok videos that I enjoy the most are the beginner-friendly ones. Videos that tell you what you should do and what you should say in certain situations. And now that I'm reading the script out loud, I think I might have just realized something about myself.
Okay, let me try and clarify it for you. This needs to be less horny. Like, there's too much horny going on here. It doesn't really work. This could frankly be a little bit more horny. Like, yeah, there's some horny there, but I feel like you could dial it up a few notches and honestly, you'd see some benefits. Now this is the exact right amount of horny.
I kind of resonate with this one. You can't just tell someone you're not going to be able to walk after I'm done with you if you can't commit to the act. If you've done the dirty with someone after saying this and they can still walk, you're just a shell of a man or woman or whatever you choose to identify as. You're not even that. You're just a liar. That's why whenever I say this, I make sure to follow through. After I'm done with you, you're never gonna walk again. And yet I walk, right? And yet I walk. You have a point. But I have a surprise chainsaw. Got to see it through, my boy.
This is not remotely horny enough. Like, what, was this designed by Puritans? What the hell are you doing? You need to dial the horny up by several orders of magnitude before you're even within driving distance of a reasonable level.
What's wrong with that? There's also a ton of these TikToks talking about, breeding kinks.
Oops, got what secretly turns you on. Now let's see what it is. Really?
Sorry, I thought I saw a wasp. Do you love me too? Excuse me?
And you know, I'm not trying to invalidate anyone's feelings here, but isn't like that the point of all this? Like all this down here, like isn't that like kind of like why these exist? Make that make sense for me, please. Because while I know that having children in this economic and political climate is a terrible decision, you can't possibly be like, yeah, I'm a pretty guy. I just want to settle down, get a mortgage, live in a house with a white picket fence. Maybe even have a couple kids. that I love and cherish and will take to all the soccer games? My safe word is birth control, and I never use it. All I'm saying is a kink of being a nuclear family man sure beats the alternative of having a kink of being a deadbeat father. Yeah, I'm a pretty kinky guy. I have no bed frame and own one set of silverware. My weekends consist of going out to the dive bars with my boys and hitting on college freshmen. My safe word, birth control, and I also never use it. Which I probably should, because if we have children, I'm not going to be in their lives.
Hey, sir.
Yes, baby.
I would like attention.
And I'd love to give it to you, but I'm working right now. Did you just...
Yeah, I did.
That's just a cat. That's what my cats do.
When I explain that I'm a princess brat son who loves to be worshipped, spoiled, praised, and loves receiving acts of service.
What? Again, this sounds just like my cats. Okay, now I definitely think she's just talking about having a cat. I think I've had enough of Kinktok. Yeah, I think that's good. It's not that it's bad or anything. I'm actually very pro Kinktok. It's more about how I need to spend the next couple days purging my phone search history from search terms such as Kinktok POV, the kinkiest kinky Kinktokers, do I have a duck kink, you know, the usual. I just wish there was some way where I could just wipe my brain away after watching all of these. And I think I might have a solution.
My favorite brainwashing trope to see. Only you. When the activation code is a song.
That is so funny because my brainwashing trigger is also a song, and that's perfect because what were we talking about again? Thanks for watching, I guess.